Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you for staying with us. Okay, remember I told you we're speaking to some of our friends on different Caribbean islands affected by Hurricane Beryl, and this morning we begin the conversation by heading on over to Jamaica. This morning we speak with Major Myrna Riley Devines out there in Jamaica as we speak about the impacts and the effects of Hurricane Beryl on that island. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you. Morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Right. And so, of course, we are here, Caribbean brothers and sisters, and we have all had some measure of impact of Hurricane Beryl. But we're looking at videos on social media and we're seeing what Beryl did in Jamaica, but we can only see through the lens. And so we want to have that conversation with you this morning in terms of from where you are, what was the measure of impact on you and your family and those who are related to you in terms of your communities, businesses? What has it been like on the ground?
Actually, I am in Kingston, Jamaica, and we don't have a problem. I'm out walking now. You may notice that.
Mhm.
It's still overcast, but besides a few trees being down in this side of the island, we had some winds, a little bit more than the heavy winds, and the rains went into the night, maybe to about close to midnight. But outside of that, it's been fine for us. That's in Kingston. However, our southern parishes, St. Elizabeth and Manchester, are reported. That's about an hour and a half drive from where I am, and they are reported to have devastating effects. St. Elizabeth is known as the breadbasket of Jamaica, where a lot of foodstuff, etc. And they seem to have had significant damages. Up to last night, there was one person reported of being washed away in a gully. They were searching for him. I don't have any reports of whether they found him or not. But outside of that, this side of Jamaica is fine. This side,
In,
but our other areas have some devastating effects.
in terms of the response of the Jamaican people, I know where you are, you might not have had that measure of impact, affecting you. But in terms of the Jamaican people, their culture, their attitudes, their mindsets, how do you see them rebuilding themselves, those who have been impacted? Because I'm telling you, I saw some videos. In fact, just this morning, I saw it might sound funny to some, but I saw some animals, specifically some dogs, on trying to, find safety, riding on some rafters in the debris that is washing away in a river. What is the attitude like of the people in terms of being resilient enough to stand up and to rebuild themselves after the losses they might have suffered?
Jamaicans are very resilient person, like very, very resilient and very positive. We generally find a way to get things done, and people tend to work together. And so it's a matter of persons coming together, working together, and I see that. I see that because that's how we operate. We're resilient, we work together, we build together. For those areas that are hardest hit, it's going to take a little bit of time for them to get back on their feet, but we will rise.
That's right.
Like the phoenix from the ashes, we will rise. We'll rise again,
That's right. That's right. And we
and we'll
really,
support each other.
of course, we have to, we are brothers and sisters on the Caribbean chain, so we have to support each other. And of course, I do hope that they find the person who was washed away, even if to bring closure to the family, of course. And well, hopefully they find him, or whoever the person is, alive. If not, then I do hope that they do find him in whatever condition, at least to bring closure. Of course, we continue to lend support to all our Caribbean islands, and we do hope that restoration can come in the soonest possible time, especially in those areas that were hardest hit. We thank you so much this morning for coming on air and for bringing us that update. And And we hope that you remain safe, your family remains safe, and all those, even the ones who were affected and impacted, that they remain as safe as they possibly can and work together to rebuild beautiful Jamaica. Thank you so much for speaking with us this morning.
You're welcome. It was my
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we head on over to St. Lucia. We're going over to St. Lucia this morning. We're speaking to Dunstan DeMille. Dunstan DeMille is online, and we're going to have that conversation this morning as to see what is happening over there in St. Lucia. Good morning, Dunstan, and welcome.
Good morning.
Right. We're so happy to have you this morning and to have that conversation. We all here speaking about the impacts and the effects of Hurricane Beryl on our islands. And as we head on over to St. Lucia, we just want to have a conversation in terms of from where you sit, what has it been like for you, the experience? I remember looking on social media and seeing so many people saying, it's the first time that they have experienced anything like this. What has it been like for you and the people around you? What have they been saying? What is the level of the impact in real life? Because we can only see through the lens. We can only see what social media says. And I know sometimes the impact can be even more in real time and in real life. So what has it been like over there in St. Lucia for you guys? Okay, so I know we have some connectivity issues on the islands. Of course, some islands have lost electricity. They have lost internet connectivity. So it's very difficult, as I mentioned earlier. In Karakou, I have some friends over there, and it wasn't until yesterday, which is Wednesday evening, that I was able to hear from one of them saying that it is much worse than we are seeing in the photos and the videos. So I know connection might be an issue for some of them. In fact, our guests who we are hoping to speak with this morning, they can literally only switch on their devices to have this conversation because there's no power, there's no electricity, there's no internet, there's no way for them to connect or to stay online for very long. And so we understand the connectivity issues there on the island. So we have to continue to give God thanks for sparing us. And I want to say kudos to all the agencies who are coming together, whether they are government agencies, whether they are NGOs coming together, to raise support for persons who need relief in those islands, and heading down there. We saw yesterday where 3 men from Tobago boarded their vessel and headed to Grenada to provide that measure of relief. I'm not saying to do it on your own, but if we can get together and find ways in which to connect with our relatives and friends, because I'm telling you, it's very difficult when you see on social media pages, on Facebook, for instance, trying to locate this one, trying to locate that one, and you see the photos of the people are trying to locate them. This is really, really heartbreaking for persons who are going through this situation right now. And so we want to continue to lend that measure of support. This is in St. Lucia. This is what they're experiencing as a result of Hurricane Beryl there. And you see, people kind of... This really is, it really is a touching situation, a touching moment. This is what has happened there in St. Lucia. And of course, in Caribbean style, we have people coming out. I don't know, the community spirit is all around the Caribbean region. I think we have Dunstan DeMille back online with us this morning. Dunstan is back online. Let's hope we can have the conversation with him. Dunstan, are you there? Right, it seems as if we are unable to connect with him. And as I mentioned, of course, we have to understand the challenges that these islands are facing. This again is St. Lucia. We're seeing the sea breaking its bank and heading into the streets there. This is what people have been experiencing. I know we're talking about Hurricane Beryl, but we have to talk about it because what we have been spared from, these people are living. Right, they are living. Some islands have been flattened. People are trying to find places to live. Even the shelters have been affected and impacted. And so we really want to continue to have the conversation. We don't want it to be a 5-minute conversation and then we don't know what's happening next. We want to keep the conversation alive and sensitize persons so that they know what is happening, that they know that we need to send support to our neighbors, our neighboring islands. So let us continue to remember the islands that have suffered the most where this is concerned: Grenada, Carriacou, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Those countries really have suffered a lot where Hurricane Beryl is concerned. And we really are hoping that we're able to speak with some of our other friends over there. And as I mentioned, because of connectivity issues, we might have some challenges. So this is what is happening there across the Caribbean islands. Of course, this morning we saw videos from Jamaica. Jamaica has been hit really, really hard by Hurricane Beryl, and we're hoping to get some more reports, you know, as it were, to see what is happening there and what has happened. It will take a lot to rebuild these countries. It will take a lot to rebuild communities and to rebuild homes. Some people literally have nowhere to go. There are no homes. Their roofs went missing. The houses were flattened. Everything, they lost literally everything. So we have to remember to lend that measure of support. We're going to go for a short break before we continue. Hopefully we can connect with our neighbors again to hear what is happening over there. And as we go for a break, of course, we invite you to stay with us. And as you stay with us, help us to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.